you will lose your referral partner because they will leave BNI because you couldn't be bothered to log the thank business. Paul just told us how BNI globally last year, or 2022 I think it was, passed £19 billion worth of thank business. But when we talk about billions, it's sort of a number that is very difficult to get your head around. I don't know about you, but when I think of a billion, I think that's not going to apply to me. Let's look at how much a billion actually is. Later on this year, I am going to see a play called The Frogs by an ancient Greek playwright called Aristophanes. Don't worry if you haven't heard of him. Aristophanes was born in 446 BC, which is almost 2,500 years ago. If he was still alive today, he'd be very old. But if he was still alive today and he had earned £1,000 every single day up until today, he still wouldn't have £1 billion. Unless, of course, he had compound interest invested with Richard Hadley Powell. Then he would. So when I think of a billion, I don't think it really applies to me. But how about we look at what does apply to you and what you could earn in BNI Chester? Would that be helpful?
Yes.
Okay, so if I look at how much I earned last year, now before I ask this, can I ask you to raise your hand if, hand on heart, you can tell me, and I won't ask you the numbers, you can tell me if you know to the penny how much you earned through BNI last year. Now I expected Zoe, I expected Paul, a couple of others as well. The rest of you, not so sure. Now, I tell everybody what I earned through BNI last year. It was just over £90,000. Now, some of you may be thinking, that's not a lot of money. I'd like to earn a lot more than that. And that's cool. Some of you may be thinking, that's quite a substantial amount of money. I'd love to get anywhere near that. But I'm in my 7th year of BNI. I didn't earn £90,000 as soon as I joined. The year before that, I earned £70,000. The year before that was just over 60. If we go back to 2020, it was about £45,000. But if we go back to the very first time Engage Web joined BNI, back in BNI Hooten, probably 2011, 2010?
2010.
2010.
6th of April 2010.
6th of April 2010, thank you, Paul. In our first year, in our first 10 months, we earned nothing. Not a penny. Because referrals don't just suddenly come to you. So for new members, maybe you're in your first few months, maybe you're in your second year, and particularly for visitors, don't think you're going to turn up to BNI and suddenly you're going to be swarmed with business and referrals, because it doesn't work that way. Only in month 10 did we get our first paying referral, which was about £800. Still didn't pay for our membership for the year, and our meeting fees, and the time we invested. But last year, just over £90,000. And I know that because I log the thank you for the business for every single referral that I get. Now, our goal, as Paul would have mentioned earlier on, is for this chapter to be £1 million chapter by the end of this leadership team's term, which is the end of March. And we're some way short of that. But I strongly suspect we are actually already £1 million chapter. Just not everybody is logging what they earn through BNI. So can I give you 3 reasons why you should log thank business? Why it's important to you? Would that be okay? Yeah. Fantastic. Reason number 1. If a member gives you a referral and you don't log the thank business, it doesn't go on their traffic lights. It affects their rankings. Why would they give you another referral? Why should they go out of their way to find you an introduction, to give you business, to help you grow, to help you get more money, if you can't even be bothered with the common courtesy of logging it on the app for thank business? There's a member in BNI, not in this chapter, and their category is not in this chapter, who I've been giving referrals to for many years. They are terrible at logging the thank business. I have to chase them again and again and again. And maybe every 8, 9 months they log it and then forget. I don't refer them anymore. And there are other members in BNI who will not give you a referral if you don't log the thank business. Why should they? Reason number 2. If you don't log the thank business, it doesn't go on that member's stats. When that member comes up for renewal, the committee will look at their traffic lights and see, are they contributing to BNI? And if it looks like they are not passing referrals that earn money for other members, they might not get renewed. Which means you will lose your referral partner because they will leave BNI, because you couldn't be bothered to log the thank business. But here's the third reason, the reason that really applies to you. If you log the thank business regularly, not only will you know, like I do, exactly how much you earned to the penny through BNI year on year on year, and month on month on month, you will also know which members are giving you the referrals that are turning into business, and which members are not giving you the referrals that are turning into business. So if you see people like me, or like Zoe, or like Paul, who are thanked for large amounts of thank business every month, and you're not getting it, you want to have a word with us, you want to have one-to-ones with us. Now on the table in front of you, there is some sheets. Apologies, they are very small. That is my thanked business spreadsheet for last year. Feel free to have a look at that. Column on the left is crudely cut off for GDPR purposes, which is the client who has been referred. The next column in is the member in BNI that referred them. Across the bottom is the months, January through to December, and the amount we earn each month for those referrals, culminating in the amount bottom right with how much we earned over the year. So we know exactly who's given us the referrals that are worth the money. Now, would it be useful for you to have information like this? Yeah? Yes?
Yes.
Yes, fantastic.
Spreadsheets.
Now, you love a spreadsheet. Not everybody loves spreadsheets. Some people are allergic to spreadsheets. Phil. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to give you that spreadsheet as a digital file, without the figures, obviously, so that you can fill it in for yourself. It's January, perfect time to do it. Beginning of every month, Alan in our office goes through that spreadsheet, goes through all of the referrals we've received, all of the business we've had into Engage Web, adds it up, calculates whether it came from BNI, adds it to that spreadsheet. He then logs into BNI Connect for me, because I don't do this, I delegate everything, I think I've explained that by now. He logs into BNI Connect for me, logs all the thank business against the members. First meeting of the month, it's all going on. That way, by the end of the year, we know exactly what we've earned. It takes him about an hour a month to do that. Now, you might be thinking, I really hate spreadsheets, I'd love to do this, but I cannot be bothered to do it myself, I do not have the time. I come out in a rash when I touch a spreadsheet. Well, luckily, Claire, sat right there, is a virtual assistant. She can do this for you. Might not take an hour, might be a bit longer, might be a bit less, I don't know. But you can give a referral to Claire. It's a referral, it's a contribution for you. Claire can do this once a month for you. She can then log the thank business for you. Fantastic, you see how it works? And then at the end of this year, you will have a full report showing you exactly how much you earned through BNI, month on month, and which members have given you the business. And we will easily become a £1 million chapter. Thank you.